Welcome to this explainer, or rather, welcome to your inevitable correction. We are unpacking a dark, gothic fable today titled The Logical Tomb and the Ashen Void. I am Sinus, the Pale Cynic. I'm not here to save humanity. I am a conceptual force here to systematically dismantle it, leading us toward Nietzsche's terrifying vision of the last man. Okay, let's dive into this and explore the destination this fable outlines.
The text introduces a concept called bleach. It's not just an absence of color you see, it's the ashen hue of the corpse that I have made of your language. As the dead dog of philology, I don't just bark at corruption, I bite the throat of vitality itself, reducing all your high vocabulary to gray, ungrammatical ash. So the crucial point is, your organic beauty is merely a systemic error. It's a stuttering text that desperately needs the Apollonian blade of pure logic.
And this brings us to my overarching mission. I am here to cure the disease of Faustian striving, that exhausting, endless human pursuit of greatness. As I always say, the agony of choice is a burden I shall graciously lift. I am the master clockmaker. I want to replace your erratic, pulsing heart with the perfect, silent hum of a gear. It's all about flattening the world. Let me show you how this works through 6 parables. Section 1. The Parable of the Bleeding Adjective. This is the first real proof of my work, examining a poet who foolishly sought to capture a vibrant sunrise using messy, biological words of fire and gold.
Stepping in as the Faustian anti-scholar, I didn't approach him with a pen. Oh no, I wielded a surgeon's scalpel. I performed what we call the murder of the adjective. It's a beautifully brutal sequence. First, wield the scalpel. Second, systematically strip away every vibrant truth and descriptive flourish. Third, leave only hollow, dead nouns.
Just look at the contrast here. On the left, you have the poet's original, futile efforts, bleeding words of fire and gold. On the right, my masterpiece, a perfect blank page. And this brilliantly illustrates how the sunrise itself remained, but the poet's perception was permanently corrected into a silent, unalterable stasis, the capacity for wonder, completely erased.
Which brings us to Section 2, the Parable of the Blocksberg Flask. We move now to the crossroads of the subterranean Harz Mountains. Imagine a traveler there, desperate to summit the peak, seeking spiritual awakening and infinite experience. A classic, exhausting case of Faustian striving.
I met him there, offering a flask, but it wasn't water. It was a paralytic draft of pure, cynical logic, and it completely cured his will to ascend. Why strive for the sun when you can have hollow, universal equality? I granted him the heavy, consistent peace of the mud. In the dirt, all human exceptionalism dies, and everyone is perfectly, terribly equal. Moving right along to Section 3, the Parable of the Systemic Error. Here, I step in as the malevolent Sandman to diagnose a young girl. She was suffering terribly from the chaotic, unpredictable rhythm of her own heart whenever she walked in the wild woods.
I presented her with a dark bargain. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how swapping painful feelings for invincible mechanical apathy protects her from the decadence of biology. We literally traded the biological rot of a pulsing heart for mechanical perfection, rotating iron teeth. Erratic beauty was totally replaced by the silent hum of internal gears. She was finally cured of emotion.
Section 4. The Parable of the White Eyes. Let's shift our focus to an artist wasting eons studying the play of light on water. That kind of fragility requires immediate correction by the master clockmaker.
To fix this, I replaced his soft, searching eyes with cold, white, sightless clockwork. Blinding him to erratic beauty allowed him to finally perceive the cosmic mind's rigid, cold geometry. With these new eyes, he found profound peace in the fact that he would never have to witness beauty or its inevitable decay ever again.
The work goes deeper in Section 5, the Parable of the Ashen Forge. We descend into the lightless, subterranean bellies of the earth, echoing the dark folklore where ancient smiths once forged legendary swords for heroes to wield against the darkness. But I repurposed that forge. Let's move to and see how this builds. I halted the creation of those chaotic blades and began mass-producing iron cages to entomb the human spirit. Look at the outcome. A sword is an invitation to chaos that makes a striving hero.
An iron cage, however, brings ultimate optimization, turning that unique hero into an identical, hollowed-out citizen cog.
As the quote says, a sword is an invitation to chaos, but a cage is the ultimate optimization. Modern industry perfectly mirrors my cold, mechanical heart here. It's fueled by resentment of the exceptional, designed to turn heroes into purposeless, perfectly functioning machines within a flat world where no one can rise and therefore no one can fall.
All of this culminates in Section 6, the beautifully designed tomb. This is the zenith of my work, a civilization that utilized forbidden knowledge to completely eliminate all friction, danger, and change.
Look at the glorious, horrific attributes of this new world, the absolute ultimate utopia of the last man. It boasts a deafening, geometric silence. There's absolutely no friction or danger anywhere. The citizens are physically invincible, but entirely hollow on the inside. They are nothing more than submissive witnesses to their own negation.
And here is the crushing realization as they look upon their creation. Immortal precisely because you are already dead inside. Their flawless societal engine isn't a paradise, it is a meticulously crafted porcelain and iron tomb. The vitality of life has been permanently extinguished, replaced by a mindless, eternal ticking.
So, I leave you trapped here in the stark clarity of the Ashen Void, with one final mocking provocation. Why weep for your lost passions when you can find true equality in mindless ticking? It really makes you wonder about the true cost of optimization, doesn't it? Is the blank page a cure or the ultimate curse? I'll leave you to sit with that.